What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best players under 700,000 coins. As we know with the goalkeepers, pretty much once you hit that 700, you can pick anybody. The only one we can't at the moment is Alisson, as he has inflated just a little bit over. Normally he does drop down, so he should be around this sort of budget anyway. So in terms of goalkeeper, you can pick literally from anybody. Would I spend 700? I don't know if I would. I normally just go with the most untradeable best goalkeeper that I get. So if I get a check, I play a check. At the minute, I've still got Courtois. 50,000 coins still does everything you need to. But in terms of the goalkeepers I've selected from this, these are the best 11 from what the prices are. Fan favourite is always going to be Van der Sar. To be honest, you could go with either version. You could have half price on his base or go for his Thunderstruck. I've seen mixed reviews about Czech, but I have seen a lot more going forward that he's actually at least semi-decent. A lot of people like Schmeichel from his SBC, which is always a blessing when there is one. Edison, Donnarumma, coming from the road to the final, and also Team of the Year honourable. Again with Donnarumma, it's more the fact, A, he is a decent keeper, always liked his gold card, but the fact that he can upgrade, whether he does and how quickly, that is going to be down to them playing in the Champions League. So we will see that one, but that's a nice investment card, as realistically, he's not going to get another one until Team of the Season, if he is even in the Team of the Season. And even then, you could just pick this card up for 80,000 coins. And to be honest, that's pretty cheap for a goalkeeper anyway. Yashin's kind of a half and half now, because I do like the goalkeeper card. But if you have that centre-back, you're not going to be choosing the goalkeeper over him. And then if we went for the gold options, you could go with Edison as gold still, but 80k for his 90, I'd rather go with that. Alisson is a big jump from 700k to 30k if you wanted to just go plain and simple. Dudek's a new one that's been added this year for me in terms of actually being put on teams. I've seen him literally a handful of times already, which last year never saw him one bit. And then obviously Courtois is one of my favourite gold goalkeepers. He is in every year, and to be honest, he's still done bits already.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
Now we have got a lot of fullbacks, so we do hit that position very much like the goalkeepers. You kind of get to a point where you're just waiting on the Team of the Years now. It's Roberto Carlos, Sakina, Battle, Frimpong's obvious Team of the Year, and then also Teo. They are, I mean, not in question. Literally not in question. Like, Teo's still coming in. He was, what, about 5 million, I'm pretty sure, last time I checked. He's still 5.2. I mean, I get it. It's a huge price increase, but I mean, I don't know if he's quite worth that, to be honest. If I'm being brutal, like, I'd much rather just go for a standard. They're going to give you everything. Unless you've got absolute millions left over, I would happily choose, I think, anywhere between a 500 to an 800k budget for each position is more than enough for you to have a very good team. It may not be technically the best, but it's definitely decent enough. Like Carfu, he's got an SBC at 566. Frimpong's coming in at 690. That still is a phenomenal card. Yes, the Playstyle Plus isn't quite amazing. I must admit, I would prefer his rapid and his whipped pass, but the difference between 3.6 mil and 690k is a very big difference for two Playstyle Pluses. I've got Kyle Walker here. He is technically a centre-back, but can still play that right-back role, and with all of the centre-backs we've got, I'd kind of prefer him in that right back. Let alone that, we did have an Evolutions that could take his 84 or 85, I think he's 84, all the way in to an 87 as well. So there is that chance also if you did do it. Reece James is still on here. Kind of want an upgrade for him now. I feel like he needs one. But in terms of stats, I'm still very happy with this card. I feel like he still is one of the top right backs you can get in the Prem. Same with Cancelo. We got this in the team of the, team of the knockout stage or team of the group stage, whatever it was. He is an 89, can play left back, right back. Definitely prefer him in that right back role with his right foot. But a 4-star that is, again, due an upgrade soon. And it's kind of who I've put here. Robertson from Trailblazer. If we manage to get another one with a rapid plus and a higher rating, that could really solidify that left back role for him. As Prem-wise, we don't really have a solid shout, other than Havertz if you did his SBC. But in terms of players we could buy off the market, Robertson's probably one of your better ones. There's Zinchenko, who I can think about, and that's really about it. Obviously Lamperty as well, but again, are you really going for the winter wildcard Lamperty? We have got Trent here also from his lovely Team of the Year honourable. I feel like Trent eventually will just transition into a centre mid. This card is already set up nearly there. He can play the centre mid, but I do think when we look at Trent when he gets that high rated, I kind of don't want him at a right back anymore. I want him as a centre mid or CDM. He just works that so much better. Same with Zambrotta. I was expecting him in a Future Stars. I don't even know if he started as a Future Star, but at the very minimum, we need a big upgrade for him. From 86, we need something because that is an untapped right back potential so far. Bakker and Havertz, obviously the SBCs have gone. I just like throwing them in there just to show you they are two of the best priced SBCs we have had all year. If we move on to the team then, we've obviously gone for the right hand side. Over to the left, everybody's got different versions now. Obviously with Teo, he's got himself his Ultimate Dynasties, which is a bit more expensive, but also his Team of the Year. Ferland Mendy has his Dynasties as well. Alfonso's SBC is only about 100, 200 more than this. I don't think it's got very long left as well if it's not already gone. Pretty sure the Team of the Years are coming towards an end. He has got 6 days left, so still chance to do him. He's technically 825, so he is double and a bit of change over this Thunderstruck, but I must admit either or is still a fantastic option. Cole still has his SBC, so that is another left back you could get if you are not willing to buy with coins. Always a nice option to have an SBC there. He's still got 28 days, so more than enough time, coming in at 600 as well. We obviously have Lizarazu. I'm a big fan. I actually really like this hero, and to be honest, I'm waiting for heroes to actually show their face again. I feel like we got the UCL heroes. We got another set of heroes, I want to say. We got something else. I can't remember which ones they were. And then they just went. It's like we've had icon after icon after icon. I don't know where this... Normally we had like hero then icon, hero then icon. It's just gone that and then it's icon, icon, icon. I'm just waiting for the next upgrade for them. And then we do have Sakina. Still a very good card nonetheless. A 4-star, 4-star. Quick step if you really wanted. Great pace. Defending physical could do with some work, but she is very much that dribbling, passing orientated left back that you could just whack an anchor, get a little bit more on them stats, and still provide something. Her Team of the Year, I'm pretty sure they're still expensive as well. 95, incredible. She's 2 million coins still, so a big upgrade. You've ended up with 8 on the defending, 12 on the physical, so you're looking at 90 and 82. But it is, again, a massive jump of an extra 1.87 million. Now, I love when we get a budget for these centre-backs, because when we was looking at like the 200, 300k, there's a few. There's definitely a few centre-backs you can still go with. The big thing is, Virgil is in every one. No matter the price, yes, he does have multiple versions, but they are a bit more expensive than this one. But 50,000 coins for a gold centre-back that literally could stay in your team till the end. He is absolutely broken. So that is number one. You don't even have to spend more than 100k on your first centre-back and still be golden. He is just brilliant. Then we look at the rest. I've got a few fan favourites. A couple with, I think... No, only one. Company's the only one with actually an upgrade, to be honest. So we've obviously got Company in his UCL. Both of them I anticipate. It is just a single upgrade as well. So really, if you wanted to save some coins, go and get the Company. I think he's a brilliant centre-back. A new one added to this list as well. He's now come down in price a little bit more. We have got Lucio in here. I think it's the first time we've seen him in kind of an under budget, because he's normally chilling around that mil mark. So we saw him then, but he is normally quite expensive. Again, like the heroes, I'm waiting for another upgrade. We need one for him. Di Natale still needs one. Voler still needs one. I know that they don't technically do everybody all the time, but I feel like we kind of need that. If you're not going to give us multiple versions to start with, we need a game plan for some of them to go up, because Lucio, whenever he does get upgraded, is going to put himself back into a solid centre-back role. And I think if they wanted to change him to anticipate, that would definitely be greatly received as well. Blanc, on the other hand, I've kind of chucked him in here. He did have an SBC. I feel like a lot of people did complete him, or you might have had the option to get him from a player pick or an upgrade pack at some point. I do think he's slowly now getting phased out, especially with a lot of the centre-backs we are seeing in SBCs, from Saliba's SBC all the way to a Maldini SBC. He is kind of now hitting that kind of peak of him being in a team. I do think, again, like most, he needs the upgrade as well. Whether they decide to try and do a move change, I could see that massively with him, maybe making a 90 cam. I would actually be all for it. I've got a lot of centre-backs, so maybe a different bonk could be interesting. 6'4", though, they'd have to get that card right. And obviously, a 2-star, 3-star, they'd have to bump that up massively. Rio, on the other hand, phenomenal. Love his Team of the Year. His Team of the Year is absolutely insane, and that normally means you've got a decent version on the bottom end as well. When you look at Rio's base, still got the anticipate. Yes, we're kind of getting an extra 5 on the pace, 13 dribbling, 5 passing, 3 defending and 5 physical, but realistically, for the price that you're paying, that card's coming in at 5 million. You're getting a decent deal back. I feel like with Rio, the main thing is he's got that slide tackle plus and anticipate alongside a big upgrade. That's kind of what makes him that next level for me. And I think that's where the progression of EA wants to go, because that is a considerable upgrade for Rio. But the problem is that's not what you can do every week. That is a Team of the Year icon. It's meant to be very prestigious and it's meant to be very expensive. So I do think Rio is definitely worth a look at, but if you could get his Team of the Year, that obviously is absolutely brilliant. We have got Varane, again another great card that I didn't expect to get an upgrade so soon. He's had it in form, he's got this Thunderstruck. You could have had that in form and put him into the Team of the Week upgrade evolution, which would have made him an 88 as well. Still got the anticipate, absolutely worth every penny. We got the 2 Barca boys in Koyunde and Arejo. I think these 2 are fantastic, and most definitely, if we see a 90 plus on both of them by the end of the year, kind of Team of the Season versions, that would be amazing as well, because both of them are absolutely solid. Koyunde can play in that right back, and I believe so can Arejo. Both of them are a right back centre back pairing, so that would be very interesting to see how that works. Sol Campbell in the middle, always a big fan. I think this Thunderstruck definitely put him a little bit on the map, and then he's slowly coming off, as we know with a lot of centre-backs. You're looking at Virgil, Maldini, Lucio. They are a very specific pairing. Then you've got Team of the Years. That is what everybody is pairing now. So when it comes to the Sol Campbell, the Ledley King, we need now progression in them. And it doesn't help that Virgil is as broken as he is, because you could literally just go get that 50k, and then you've only got 1, potentially or 2 spots if you're playing a 5 at the back of another player. So there is a lot of centre-backs. Like, these are not even all of the centre-backs. These are my favourites for this budget type. And then obviously Kim Min-jae. I thought it was a decent card, to be honest. Great pace. He's got the aerial plus, so whether you'd have that the same as Virgil, I always like to go Virgil and an anticipate possibly. But if you've not got Virgil or don't particularly want him, he's definitely a run-in to go with. Great defending physical, great pace, add a little chemistry style to him, top dollar. Now with the midfield, we've kind of changed a little bit to really kind of emulate a lot of different positions going on here. We've got a few extra new cards in here and a few of the old faces. We look at Yaya, we look at Putellas and Modric. They're the fan favourites, and even Valverde, to be honest. Valverde's just got a double playstyle plus, exactly the same as his radioactive, so it isn't actually really too much of a change other than rapid and relentless. It's a different kind of card, to be honest. With the 90 pace, that's definitely going to be one that could be worth having a look at. And to be honest, at 400, I don't think that's a bad price for him as well. We have got, obviously, the fan favourites. I always like a bit of Yaya, CDM, centre mid. He just works it all day long. Putellas, again, incredible card. 5-star centre mid. Yes, everybody would love the Team of the Year. She is phenomenal. But even in the base, still a very good card. When she's coming in at 110 on a gold card, I think there's only 3 or 4. Mbappe, Vinny, Putellas. I don't know how much Hansen is as a gold. I can't imagine she's over 100k, but that's what I mean in terms of what we're looking at. Hansen, why can't I spell that name right? 80,000. So yeah, even in gold versions, that is very expensive, and that normally means either she's very hard to pack, which most definitely she is, but also how good she actually is. And we all know Modric. From the very start of the game, a 93 Modric is just incredible. Very good on the ball control, the dribbling, the left stick is absolutely perfect. And then we kind of threw in a few of the new ones. Petit obviously is more of a CDM. He's just position can change to left back, centre back, left wing CDM. He's literally just missing a striker, and he can be in all forms of attack, which is incredible. A very good card, and obviously he did get a very big competitor in Rijkaard. How much was he again? 380, so he hasn't dropped much. The difference between them is 100k. Obviously with Rijkaard, he has got that 4-star weak foot rather than the 3-3. I personally would prefer Rijkaard in a CDM, but there is still a shout to put Petit at centre-back. If you are missing an option, maybe you've packed him, but then you could obviously finish Rijkaard's SBC, there is the option for both of them to play centre-back, or you could choose one or the other and go in CDM. I think they're both wonderful cards. We've obviously got Intercept and Anticipate on both of them. Very good playstyle pluses for both. I, like I say, prefer Anticipate on a centre-back, and I do like Intercept on a CDM, so it works out absolutely perfect. We then have Gerrard at 530, Incisive Pass, Ping Pass. It's a definite big upgrade for him. You could easily go centre-back Petit, CDM Rijkaard, centre-mid Gerrard, and play that midfield if you don't already have anybody higher. Because the problem is I can imagine a lot of people haven't paid for cards, so you are just running a full untradeable list. That is personally how my teams run, so it is all dependent. Have you packed that Hullet? Did you finish Zidane's SBC? Will all depend on who you're going to pick next. Xavi, I've kind of chucked in here purely on a Modric basis as kind of a comparison. Modric unfortunately doesn't have the double playstyle, and I don't know, did his, well, he had an SBC, but I cannot remember, did he get a double? He did. Oh, he got pinged pass and Travella. So you've got the arguments between long ball pass and technical. They both, well, Xavi was 300k cheaper. I know the SBC has finished now. Whether we see a year in review, that would be very interesting to see if we got the option to get some of these Team of the Year honourables that were monstrously expensive. But Xavi is always good on the ground game, very much like Modric. Ramos, always a fan favourite for CDM. I actually don't know who I'd prefer between him and Rijkaard. Again, I would like him as a centre-back with that Anticipate, but he works so well in a CDM. His body type, just in general in-game ability, is normally really, really good. It's Ramos. He's coded how like Messi and Ronaldo are. He's kind of used to how he was prior. You look at any Ramos card, back in the day, it was phenomenal. Bellingham, big shout. Yes, Team of the Year is, again, crazy, but I think he is like stupidly priced again. It's just not affordable. You're looking at 7.2 million. That's a big jump. You're looking at a tenfold compared to this card. So naturally you're not going to get that level, but Intercept, great base stats on 80 and above, a very good card if you're looking for a box to box. And Kimmich is very much like Donnarumma, 390 for him. You've only got a couple of days left to get the SBC done, but he potentially is worth that investment to see if he does go up over the course of the UCL. Whether he does on the very first one, that could be then the first inkling to see where is he actually going to go in terms of rating, and then it's down to the draw, to be honest. We then move into some wingers, and to be honest, I was slightly kind of anticipating a bit better wingers. There is still some very good ones that you can get. If we look at Salah, many versions. We've gone for the cheapest. You could afford the 90 Inform, the 91 Trailblazer, the 91 Inform, or the bog standard gold. The 92s are just a little bit more expensive, and I think even with this right wing, I would much rather go for this one. A is a little bit cheaper, but he's also got the finesse rather than the technical. I'm just a bit more of a fan of that. I don't use technical too much, so I'd rather not go with that one. Then we obviously look into Diani, great card. Whipped pass, obviously got the Travella, 390, can play striker or right wing. Absolutely brilliant going forward for me. I think that card is absolutely spectacular. We have Hansen, again, another great super sub for me. Another Team of the Year variant if you could, but again, I'm kind of interested to see how expensive she is, to be honest, because she's 97 rated. She is 7.7 million. I mean, wow. And she does have the same playstyle plus as what Diani has as well. Then we got a little bit of a cheaper option in obviously Diaby. Did I say Diani or Diaby? Either or. Diaby's got his fire or obviously the ice. The ice has the technical plus. The fire has the power shot. Whether you'd prefer either or, both of them are wingers on their respective sides. So this one is right mid or right wing. The fire is left wing or left mid. Then we have Kvaratskhelia. We've got him on multiple versions. We've obviously had that big expensive one of an 89 and evolutions from his gold to an 89 as well. We then have the 88 radioactive, the 87 inform, and also an 88 inform as well. Now, if you don't care about the technical playstyle plus and you also don't care about the chemistry boost, if you could fit all them in, you could change this card from 218k to 35,000 with his second inform. The problem is we don't have the double playstyle plus, we don't have the chemistry boost. So if you need them to get him on full chem, then you'd have to go with this version, unfortunately, but you have got a much cheaper option if you wanted. Vinny, the Only other, I'm kind of interested now, but Vinny coming in at what, 224. I want to say he's the second highest price gold we've got at the minute. I know Mbappe is obviously number one, still at 1.7 mil. That's crazy. We've got Mbappe at 1.7. We've then got Vinny at 228. We then have Putellas at 107. They are the three most expensive golds you've got. Mbappe's just clear of everybody, but Vinny still being 220 is a big price, and it just tells you exactly what this card is. He obviously does have himself his Thunderstruck and also a Team of the Year Honourable, which are way out of budget. But even this gold, I'd still rep him in the team. He's still going to be a very good winger. Got a quick step plus. You could get away with him easily. We have Abide Pele and also Futra as the two left mid, left wings. Rapid Plus is always a big fan favourite of mine. Always love that going forward, especially then adding a chem style. Hunter would max out his pace. You'd get pretty much 90 plus shooting as well. He's definitely going to be a nice card that just isn't utilised, purely based on the supply that we actually got on them UCL heroes. Luckily for me, I did manage to get Futra out of the pre-order pack. One of the best ones at the time, which I was really happy about, but again, he is starting to lose that fade now with the George Best SBC. Obviously then plenty of left wings that you can get from any sort of packs, even the Garnacho if you really wanted to. We now need the upgrade for the heroes. Bernardo Silva, as much as I'd only play him as a centre mid, I completely forgot about him because of such a low price on him. He is an absolute gem in that midfield. You could potentially put him on a wing. I would definitely go into the midfield, but I definitely wanted to get him in this list at some point. 75,000 for his dribbling and passing stats is incredible. Incisive, technical, an absolute wonder if you are looking for a very cheap option in the midfield. We then have Diaz, one card that I'm surprised we haven't had an upgrade yet. I get that he's 89, so they probably don't want to give him too high of a rating too soon, so fair enough to that, but we definitely need a Playstyle Plus on him now. If we could add that, even if get a double, maybe a FUT birthday card could be nice, a 5/5 Diaz with rapid and something. I know I'm picking the perfect card here, but that could be a great card of an upgrade from this one. And then Dembele has always been Dembele. Still a 5/5 as we love. Rapid plus, right wing 90. This card has been out from the start of the game. Granted, he was like, 89 or 88 version, so he has upgraded. That is still one of the best wingers you can get. And then we have the strikers. Love the strikers at a high price. Very much like the wingers and also the centerbacks. They have a good amount of talent here. If we start off at kind of the low end, Harry Kane. You have got the other version actually. I thought that there was another one. We've obviously got this one is the team of the group stage, which was an SBC, but we do have a cheaper one, I believe, at 95,000, power shot and first touch plus is going to be the team of the year honourable. So definitely go for that one. You can't actually get this one. So definitely go for the team of the year honourable. That is a decent card if you can play with him right. It's kind of how I judge Lawan. They are a bit more of a bulky striker. They're not necessarily your through ball and run onto it, but if you can get them in front of goal, they are going to score. 96 shooting is phenomenal. I believe the honourable is exactly the same stats, and we do have the 4-star, 5-star. Let alone that, the double play star plus is an absolute must. Even on the bench, is still going to be a very good card. Kolo Muani, big fan of this one. You obviously have got many evolutions that you could put him in, but a card that you can actually physically buy. 300,000 for this FC Pro Live. They have finished as well now, so I don't believe there's any plans in the future for these to actually go up again. So we are finished on the 88, so we're now waiting on a big upgrade for him, but still a brilliant card that is dying for a Playstyle Plus. Boniface, to be honest, we've actually seen a lot of this kid this year, to be honest. We managed to get two player of the month, one player of the month, team of the group stage. He has an 87 already, but the 90, double Playstyle Plus with Tiki Taka, which is okay, but it's not my favourite. We have got the Power Shot, which is always going to be brilliant. The 4/4, big old unit. It's coming in at, 6'4", which is just crazy in itself. And he's about 294, I believe, on this. We have got Alex Morgan's got 7 more days of her SBC. I'm a big fan of the 90 card still. She is a super sub that potentially comes on later on in the game. But if you are looking for another striker, maybe you've got a few fodder SBC cards left, then you could go and do this one as the 92, which is generically better anyway. CR7, I still like CR7. You've got to love him. Yes, the team of the year, the winter wildcard, is always going to be what you want, but even the Trailblazer at 325 is really not a terrible card. I get we've had an Mbappe SBC, Dalglish, Henry, Eusebio. There's loads of strikers you could have done on an SBC, but even if then you're looking for your big boy Benz, you're looking for your Greasy, your Ronaldo, they are still very cheap in some aspects, especially when you start looking at a couple of little bit of the lower versions. Still going to give you an absolute performance. We have a few icons, Eto'o being one of my fan favourites. He's actually in my team at the moment. We did manage to get him from an untradeable player pick. I want to say he was a pack rather than a pick, and he's been brilliant. I've never packed Eto'o before, but he's always been just very, very good in the game. Dalglish and Butra, very similar in some aspects. Obviously with Dalglish, he does keep that 4-star, 5-star, which is nice, rather than Butra's 3-5. We do have multiple upgrades for them as well. Butra in the left wing, which is a bit more expensive, and Dalglish obviously had his Thunderstruck that was an SBC that was a bit more expensive. But I still think you could get away with these two cards easily in the game. Lauren James coming down at a bit of price now, 675. She was chilling at about 1.4 on day one. She definitely doesn't look a bad card. Rapid and Flair, I'll absolutely take. 5-star, 4-star, can play the right wing, so whether you'd want to push her there rather than the striker is definitely an option, but great pace, dribbling, passing, shooting, all at a decent standard. I would say go onto the wing with that Rapid Plus, but again, you could choose where to go, and definitely not an awful card to go for. Greasy's now waiting for an upgrade. We've had multiple versions of him. We've had a Player of the Month that came in quite expensive, a Trailblazer, an Inform. This is now the next step where we need a double Playstyle Plus for Greasy. If we could get a Travella, Technical, Trickster, whatever you want to give him, a double with a 4-4, 91, 92 rated, that's going to be, again, another card that pushes himself back in because the left stick on him was phenomenal. And then last but not least, Big Boy Benz. I don't know how he does it because every year I'm like, he's rubbish. He's terrible. He just can't do it. Every year he proves me wrong. His pace doesn't ever seem to be an issue. Strength is normally pretty good for the size of him. And then shooting is absolutely phenomenal. He just manages to find a way. I'll say that he's bad. I'll put out something that he's just awful. And then I'll go against him and he scores 5 goals. I'll give him a review. He scores 6 goals. He just doesn't stop. Love the version. Hopefully we do see a bigger upgrade during Team of the Season, as I would love to see another 96, 97 Benz back in the game. But this 92 is definitely not one to joke about. And that is going to be everybody